Hey everyone and welcome. Every single time you log into an app or a website, you're using a digital identity. But have you ever really stopped to think about who actually owns it? Who's holding the keys to your digital life? Well, today, we're going to dive into a technology that's all about putting that power right back where it belongs, in your hands. So here's our game plan. We're going to start by looking at the problem, these identity brokers. Then we'll introduce the solution, which is basically a key that you control. And we'll peek under the hood to see how it works. We'll check out who's already using this stuff right now. And then we'll wrap up by dreaming a little about what a self-sovereign future could really mean for all of us. All right, so let's talk about how things are right now. The way our digital identity works today is based on this fundamental trade-off, one that we make pretty much every single day without even thinking about it. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. That social media profile you've spent years building, your email account, your professional network, do you actually own any of it? Or are you kind of just renting space on someone else's server? Well, the truth is, for the most part, we don't own them at all. Our digital lives are in the hands of these huge centralized companies. And that means your data is sitting in their databases, just waiting for a potential breach. It means they get to make all the rules, and they can lock you out or just delete your account for any reason they want, basically wiping you off their corner of the internet. But what if there was a completely different way to do things? A model built from the ground up to flip this whole power dynamic on its head. And that, right there, brings us to the hero of our story, the Decentralized Identifier, or what everyone just calls a DID. Okay, this definition from the World Wide Web Consortium, the W3C, is really important. A DID is this new type of ID that anyone can recognize. It can be proven and it sticks around. But here's the absolute kicker. It doesn't need a central company or any single authority to exist. And this slide just lays out the massive difference perfectly. In the old world, a company is in charge of your identity. You're just a user on their platform. But in this new world of DIDs, you are in control. The identity is permanent, it's self-managed. You're not the user anymore. You are the owner. This incredibly powerful concept has a name, and it's self-sovereign identity. It's this whole philosophy that we, as individuals, should have the ultimate control over our own digital identities, just like we have control over our physical selves. DIDs are the tech that finally makes that philosophy a reality. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how does it actually work without a big tech company running the show? Let's break down the technical recipe. It's simpler than you might think. It really just boils down to three main steps. First, someone, it could be you, a company, even a smart device, creates its own DID. Second, that DID points to a public file called a DID document. The best way to think about this is like a digital business card. And third, that document holds the special cryptographic keys you need to prove you are who you say you are. It's kind of like having a unique lock, and only you have the one key in the entire world that can open it, proving you're the true owner. So just to quickly recap the key pieces here, you've got the DID itself, that's your public address. You've got the DID document, which is like your public profile. And then there's something called the DID method, which is really just the specific rule book for how that type of DID is made and managed. Now, this is not just some idea floating around in a white paper. Major organizations and even entire governments are already building real-world systems with the stuff. So let's take a look at a few DIDs out there in the wild. And this first one is absolutely massive. The entire European Union is rolling out a digital identity wallet built on this technology. This is not some fringe experiment. It's becoming official policy for hundreds of millions of people. For you, this might mean proving you're over 18 without ever showing your driver's license. You just share the yes, I'm over 18 fact and nothing else. Your address, your actual birthday, all stays private. And then you've got the social media world. Platforms like Blue Sky were built from day one using DIDs. What that means is your username, your profile, your entire identity on that platform is actually yours. You could, in theory, move it somewhere else. It's not chained to one company's servers, it's portable. And yep, it's making its way into the professional world too. LinkedIn is now using a service that lets you verify your identity. And once you do, it issues you a credential in the form of a DID. This adds this whole new layer of real, provable trust and authenticity to your professional profile. And you're the one who holds it. And the list just keeps on growing. We're seeing national-level projects in China with real DID, really cool privacy-focused stuff like Polygon ID that uses some fancy math to let you prove things without revealing your data. And even whole industries like travel are creating standards to make everything more seamless and secure. So we've covered the problem, We've looked at the solution and we've seen it in action. Now let's just zoom all the way out and talk about the big picture. Here, why does this fundamental change to how we handle digital identity really matter for our future? Well, it's super important to understand that this isn't just some wild experimental tech anymore. It's gone through a serious global standardization process. Back in July 2022, DIDs became an official recommendation from the W3C. That's the same group that standardizes the core building blocks of the web, like HTML and CSS. So this is a real agreed-upon foundation for the future of identity. And this quote right here just nails it. DIDs are more than just a technical upgrade. They are the key that unlocks this completely new way for us to exist online. It's about moving from being digital renters to becoming digital owners. And really, that's the bottom line. It's about security, sure. It's about privacy. It's about being able to take your data with you. But more than anything else, it is about control. This technology is designed from the ground up to put you, the individual, right at the center of your own digital world, giving you the final say over your own identity. So I'm just going to leave you with this question to think about. If your online self was something you actually owned, something that nobody could take away from you, and that worked everywhere, what kind of new things would that make possible? What would you do with it?